Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Not As Glamorous podcast. I'm so glad you're tuning in, and I'm grateful that you guys are just coming back each week, and I hope it's helping you become the best version of yourself. Well, today in this episode, I'm going to talk about, honestly, how this podcast really kind of got started. It's called The Pretty Privilege. Now, I'm not sure if you guys heard of that before, but that's the idea of you get more opportunities when you're cute or you're attractive or you look pretty. They think, oh, you have the pretty privilege. Things are just giving to you. And the reason why I said I started this podcast because it is titled Not As Glamorous. And I received that name for it a couple years ago because I was always told that, oh girl, you're just so cute. You just probably always have things working out for you. Oh girl, that comes to you because you're so pretty and you're so glamorous, because my nickname is Glamour Girl. And so I'm like, only if you knew, it is not as glamorous as it seems at all. But I'm not going to knock that there is a pretty privilege, because I do think there is a such thing that is called pretty privilege. And I'm not here saying that, I may not have it or others don't have it. But what I want to do is put a little spin on it. Sometimes what I think is pretty privilege is really not about that at all, because it's not about looks. It's probably God's favor. If I look back at it, it's probably because God set that up for me, because he extended his favor and grace and mercy to me. Not knocking pretty privilege, because I think that's a thing, and we're going to talk about that as well, but it's probably just God's favor. So firstly, I do want to acknowledge that how you present yourself does matter. When you take the time to take care of yourself and put yourself together and just show up as your best self, I do think others pay attention. When you show up confident and glowing, you do get treated a little different. You'll notice people may open the door for you, or they'll give you more, or they just want to be a little bit more courteous because it looks like you took the time to care for yourself and respect yourself. And I think others will do the same when you do that. People tend to respect you more when they think you take yourself a little bit more seriously. And honestly, that's what draws people to you, is because you take the time to show up for yourself and you don't give yourself the bare minimum, so they won't do that to you. It's like you're putting the energy out there of what you want to receive back. It's not about being vain, because I hope this doesn't come across as a conceited moment or anything like that, because it's not about being vain. It's about honoring yourself. It's when you treat yourself well and carry yourself well, others will do the same. You know the saying, you teach people how to treat you? This is where it starts, by how you're treating yourself. You can look and tell how a person carries and how they respect themselves. And that's the energy that they're going to respond to. That's the part of what society calls the pretty privilege. I remember growing up, and maybe this is why it's kind of also instilled in my head as well, and I'm probably aging myself saying this, but when I was growing up, my mom would have what we would call jewelry parties. And like nowadays, I think people sell jewelry and stuff or whatever, but I think they were doing it then, and they would come to the house and they would set up all their jewelry. And I remember one lady, she came to the house, she set up all her stuff, and she stated that the average person doesn't wear more than 10 accessories. And so ever since then, I count my accessories. I don't know why. It's really weird that I do. So I try to actually go from 12 to 15 accessories that I'm doing. And accessories can include if your hair or your makeup and lashes. I have an ear full of earrings. So not just, one pair of earrings. I kind of took it up a notch. On this side, I got like 5, but I count that, and I count my jewelry, and I count my heels and my purse. Like, it all ties and goes together, because not to say that I want to be above the average, but that's what the average person is doing, and I'm not called to live an average life, so I take it up a notch. I try to do at least 12 to 15 as my minimum of jewelry that I'm putting on, so that I can show effort in what I'm doing. So if I just take a look here, I think I have, I don't know, we're just going to say 3 pair of earrings. We're going to just say 3 pair of earrings. I have on lashes, I have on makeup, I have on nails, I have on bracelets, I have on a watch, I have on rings, outfit. I think I'm well over the average amount of accessories. So try to keep that in mind when you're showing up for yourself, so you can put that energy out there to receive what you call the pretty privilege. But here's the thing. Sometimes your glow just isn't about the outfit. It's not just about the makeup or your hair. Sometimes it's the aura. It's the presence that you bring. It's the charisma. It's the peace that people feel when you step into a room. It's a light that you carry. And that's where I feel like the pretty privilege is overlapped with God's favor. Because I remember sometimes I would pray and ask, God, please let me be a beacon of light. I pray that when others see me, they see you. And I will get a lot of good treatment sometimes. I'm going to be, really honest. I remember one time I called in on my car. We have an app. It's called a Inform app or something with the Lexus app. And you can start your car and do different things on the app on your phone. And I paid for it, and I just never kind of set it up because I was being lazy. And I never set it up. And so it's for a year when you do it. And so I set it up 3 months later after I paid for it. So I called the people to get it activated, and she stated, oh, it looks like you haven't used this. You wasted 3 months. No worries. I like you. I'll go ahead and get it started for today's date. Give me the extra 3 months. And I was like, okay, even in my laziness, I still got favor. And I'm not saying, be lazy. I'm not promoting that at all. But what I am stating is there's favor. She couldn't see me. She didn't do nothing but talk to me over the phone. So the pretty privilege is out the window. That's just truly God's favor to me, giving me an extra 3 months because I was being lazy and didn't activate it when I was supposed to do it. So when people are saying pretty privilege, just kind of shift it a little bit, because favor will have people saying, I don't know, it's just something about you. I like you, or I like your spirit, or I usually don't do this, but I will. You just stand out. You just have a presence. You just have a beacon of light of God showing within you, and that is God's favor. That's how you're receiving those blessings. So it's not just the lip gloss. It's not just the hair. It all ties into it, but it's more so God's favor. So I was talking about pretty privilege. I was talking about God's favor. And yes, take pride in your appearance and how you show up and how you walk into rooms. Be your best self. Be cute. I'm all about that. But also steward what God is giving you. Also show a great attitude. Also show kindness. Also extend grace to others. Treat others how you want to be treated as well. So if you do that, then yes, big doors will open. The rooms that you didn't even think you qualified to be in will happen because God is extending favor to you. The opportunity that you thought, is too good to be true, says who? God has favor. God has grace and mercy shown upon your life. That's not a pretty privilege. That's God. And even when you're looking at like applying for jobs, because I remember I was applying for my big girl job when I moved to Atlanta, was to be an HR director. And I remember clear as day, I was working out and I was listening to a podcast, and it was just stating how most women don't apply for the job that they're seeking if they don't feel they meet every job description or every job responsibility on there. That's why a lot of more males get in those positions, because they can figure out if they have one or two qualities that they know they can do, they'll talk themselves into it and sell themselves really good on what they can do. But women shy away because we feel like, we're lacking and we don't meet every dot that is on there. And it was a job that I saw, and I was like, I'm not going to apply for it because I haven't been in HR manager for only 2 to 3 years. I can't just jump to be an HR director yet. Most of the time, they want 10 to 15 years of experience. So I was like, not going to apply for it. But I listened to that podcast, and I heard them stating that about the difference between male and women, and I changed my mind. I went to go apply for it. Do you know I got that job? Do you know I got that job when I didn't even have the 10 to 15 years of experience? I only had maybe 3 years of manager experience as being an HR manager. And I applied to be an HR director, and I got the job. Not only did I get that job when I was moving to Atlanta, I had 4 job offers. Like, that's favor. God gave me so much favor and opportunities my way. So I cannot blame it on the pretty privilege because I wasn't qualified. I'm not just cute enough to get a director job. Cuteness is not going to keep you doing your responsibilities that you're supposed to do. That was favor. That was God opening that door for me. So don't ever get it twisted. Yes, pretty privilege is a thing, and I'm all here for being cute, but it's favor. Stay true to God so that you can give him the credit back and not put the credit on you. That's what pretty privilege would do sometimes. You're thinking you're doing this. Oh, it's within your strength. Oh, it's because you're so cute. No, my dear. It's because of God. So life is about balance, because favor doesn't just get you compliments, it gets you position as well. So balance is the key to this thing here. And some practical ways that you can work on your outer appearance for your pretty privilege is to take care of yourself. Invest in your appearance, in your health, and invest in your confidence. Show up as the version that God sees you as. I mean, you don't have to go spend a bunch of money on your outfits or, work out 2 or 3 times a day. I'm not stating doing all that, but I am saying just take a little extra time, to 5 to 10 more minutes in your normal routine that you're doing to get yourself together, to make sure that you do look well groomed. Make sure that your clothes are ironed out. Try to put a little bit of mascara and lip gloss on. That takes you a long way. And if you do that and you show up and value yourself, I'm sure others will see the effort that you're putting into yourself as well. I created a couple blogs where I talked about like your everyday makeup routine, because I do get complimented on my makeup. I'm a makeup girl. I like makeup. I draw my eyebrows on every single day. So I'm all about, getting cute and getting together. And I have blogs that kind of teach you and show you some little things that you can do every day, because no one should be taking 1 to 2 hours to do their makeup every day. Learn to do your everyday makeup where you can get it down within 10 to 15 minutes so that you can be cute and you have that confidence and you walk out the door knowing that, hey, the world is mine, and that's what you need to do. So I think if you look cute, you feel good, and when you feel good, you play good. I think that's the quote that Deion Sanders says: you look good, you feel good, you play good. So that's what you need to do to show up and conquer the world. Now, the spiritual aspect of it is ask God for favor. Stay aligned with him, stay close to him so that you can know that the glow that you're carrying isn't just outer, it's inwards as well. It's what God is downloading into you. It's you spending time in the Bible. It's you knowing and affirming what God says about you. So that way people aren't just reaching out to your beauty, but they're reaching out to the light that reflects on the inside of you as well. So stay connected to God, be a beacon of his light and not just your own light. You want to shine and reflect what God has possessed and put inside of you. You want to shine and show what God has put inside of you, not just your outer beauty. So here's my challenge for you this week. Make a list of things that contribute to you showing up as your best version of yourself to receive pretty privilege, and make a habit to do these things. Whether that could be, this week I'm going to take a little time to make sure that my hair is neat for when I go to work, or I'm going to take time to make sure that I iron my clothes before I go into work. Make a list of things that you can do that you can work on your pretty privilege. I also want you to make a list of scriptures that remind yourself of God's favor and his grace and his mercy and the promises that he have made towards you. So you can keep that in your heart. So you can keep that when you're walking in your faith, knowing that God does love you and he's going to show out for his children to make sure that you have great expectancy that he's going to do it. So make a list of those scriptures so that you can know the promises are there, that God is going to do it, that God has favor for you. So when you're showing up as your most glamorous version of yourself, because you took a little bit of time to pour into yourself, then you're also showing up with the promises that God has made for you. You're showing up with his word instilled in your heart, with the scriptures that he has given you. So that way you know it's not just a pretty privilege, it's also God's favor. All right, my dear. Well, that is all that I have for you today. If this hit home for you, then please share it with a friend. Please let me know what are some things you're working on for your pretty privilege, and what are some scriptures that you're reminding yourself with to know that it's God's favor. Hope you have a good one. See you next time.